Missing someone. Missing someone. Missing someone.
A pleasant day to all of you. I am Myla de la Roca Gregorio, taking Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management. Today, I will be discussing the research I have done entitled Guest Services and Customer Satisfaction of Inay's Place Resort at Barangay Biga, Calapan City. Inay's Place Resort is just one of the resorts that provides high regard for satisfying customer relationship, thus serving customers with quality service standards. It serves customers with high respect and assure that they are happy with the services offered. With evidences of tracking customer satisfaction, surveys and research studies have to be done in order to determine the extent of the services offered by the place. The Inay's Place Resort is a newly developed private resort situated in Barangay Biga, Calapan City, Oriental, Mindoro. It was established on March 20, 2021, owned by a single parent with two siblings. At the beginning, the owner of the resort had many options before constructing it. First, the rest house, second the hotel, third the bar, and the fourth is function hall, and the fifth is restaurant, until it was finally decided to name it Inay's Place Resort. This resort is collaboratively managed by the family, including the two siblings, daughter and the son, who run the business. The resort caters walk-in and reservations. It serves well-loved Filipino dishes in the menu. This study aims to assess the services offered by the Inay's Place Resort in Barangay Biga, Calapan City, Oriental, Mindoro, relationship between customer satisfaction and guest services quality. Specifically, it seeks to answer the following question. First, what is the status of guest services offered by Inay's Place Resort in terms of foods offered, facilities, fees, cruise services? Second, what is the level of customer satisfaction offered by the Inay's Place Resort in terms of location and accommodation? Third, is there a relationship between the status of guest services offered by Inay's Place Resort in terms of food offered, facilities, fees, and cruise services? Fourth, is there a relationship between the level of customer satisfaction offered by Inay's Place Resort in terms of location and accommodation? Fifth, is there a significant difference among the identified indicators in the services offered by Inay's Place Resort in Barangay Biga, Calapan City, Oriental, Mindoro? 6. What are the pressing issues and concerns that need to be addressed for the improvement of the services of Inay's Place Resort in Barangay Biga, Calapan City, Oriental, Mindoro? And the last question, what proposed strategies and interventions are to be undertaken for the improvement of the services of Inay's Place Resort in Barangay Biga, Calapan City, Oriental, Mindoro? There is no significant relationship between the status of guest services in terms of food offered to the level of customer satisfaction of Inay's Place Resort in Barangay Biga, Calapan City. There is no significant relationship between the status of guest services in terms of facilities to the level of customer satisfaction of Inay's Place Resort in Barangay Biga, Calapan City. There is no significant relationship between the status of guest services in terms of fees paid by customers to the level of customer satisfaction of Inay's Place Resort in Barangay Biga, Calapan City. There is no significant relationship between the status of guest services in terms of cruise services offered to the level of customer satisfaction of Inay's Place Resort at Barangay Biga, Calapan City. There is no significant difference among the identified indicators of guest services offered by the Inay's Place Resort at Barangay Biga, Calapan City. There is no significant difference among the identified indicators of customer satisfaction offered by the Inay's Place Resort at Barangay Biga, Calapan City. The purpose purpose of this study is to assess the relationship between customer satisfaction and guest services quality with respect to the service quality dimensions of Inay's Place Resort in Barangay Biga, Calapan City, Oriental Mindoro. Results of this study will determine how the resort fared well on the basis of satisfaction of customers from the services they give and guest services they offer. This will improve the resort's reputation as a whole. The study determined the extent of guest services and customer satisfaction of Inay's Place Resort at Barangay Biga, Calapan City. Specifically, it aimed to first, assess the status of guest services offered by the Inay's Place Resort in terms of food served, facilities, fees paid by the customers, and cruise services. Second, assess the level of customer satisfaction offered by Inay's Place Resort in terms of location and accommodation. Third, determine the significance of the relationship between the service offered and customer satisfaction. This paper study on the findings from a review of related literature relating to guest services and customer satisfaction. According to Giffen's last definition in 2002, Abdullah and Altman 2016 cited services quality as a special evaluation made by consumers in the expected services quality and service provided, Abdullah and Altman 2021. According to Anwar and Abdullah 2021, there are two variables which influence the perception of consumers, such as expectations and quality standards. Expectation means what is the customer is supposed to get from the service provider, while the quality is the theory that can be described as an invasive and blurred theory. According to Anwar 2016, satisfaction is a person's feeling of pleasure or disappointment resulting from comparing a product's perceived performance or outcome with his or her expectation. In other words, if service quality matches the consumer's expectations, the customer will be satisfied. Nevertheless, in the hospitality industry, to meet customers' expectation is hard enough. According to Coulter and Armstrong 2001, discussed the successful modern customer-oriented Abdullah et al. 2017. It is as seen from the chart, customers are at the top, second importance going to the front line as staff who greet, meet, serve, and satisfy the customer. Third importance is the middle management, whose responsibility to support frontline employees, thus they provide expected services, quality, and last is the top management, who's supposed to be support the middle management. As the hospitality marketplace becomes more competitive, quality becomes more crucial for continued financial success. Simply providing guests average service is not good enough in this competitive environment. To be successful in hospitality firm needs to understand what quality means to prospective customers and strive to improve the service quality offered so customers keep coming back again and again. Customers have become an important part of any firm, especially those in the grocery retail sector. A good working relationship of the workers with their supervisors is accompanied by the manner by which the managers handle the workers. According to Lucas 2012, claimed that enhancing customer satisfaction as a strategy for retaining customers is a big factor for many customers in remaining loyal. According to De Castro 2017, noted that the time it takes for an employee to respond to a customer's request is the same of the promptness of the employees in entertaining requests or help. This research study made use of the descriptive method of research, the purpose of which is to describe the extent of the relationship between two or more variables. The research examined the relationship between variables, hence it employed correlation method of research. Statistical methods used were frequency distribution, weighted mean and rank, and Pearson's product of moment correlation between variables. Quantitative research was carried out in the above-mentioned statistical methods and tools. This descriptive survey research study was very efficient in analyzing and used to scrutinizing the guest services and customer satisfaction of Inay's Place Resort at Barangay Biga, Calapan City. Comparative research method was also utilized to determine differences in the assessment made by the respondents on certain study variables. The results obtained from online survey and questionnaire with tabulated and statistically analyzed. The procedure utilized, as previously mentioned, satisfied to the requirements of attaining the objectives of the study. Hence, the researcher found it most appropriate to use. The respondents of the study are the selected guests and customers of Inay's Place Resort who live in both barangays of Comunal and Biga, Calapan City. Random selection was done by the researcher in identifying the 30 guest customers. 15 of them came from Barangay Comunal and the other 15 participants came from Barangay Biga. These selected respondents were the one responsible for providing the data and information on certain variables, responsible for providing the data and information on a certain variable, to be requested in the questionnaire form. They were chosen as the respondents because of their accessibility, which in turn provided the researcher immediate feedback on the kind of service they received from Inay's Place Resort at Barangay Biga, Calapan City. The resort had just been opened recently during the pandemic situation where customers and guests were catered on the limited number only with the observance of strict health protocols. It is for this reason that there were only 30 customers or guests who were selected as respondents of the study. Questionnaire was utilized by the researcher as a tool to obtain the validity and reliability of each of the responses. The tool consisted of the three parts. The first part of the research tool contained 9 items pertaining to the demographic data about the respondent's profile. Part 2 of the research instrument contained questions about the customer satisfaction, and while Part 3 is consisted of 10 questions pertaining to guest services with the corresponding 5 selected choices such as strongly agree, agree or disagree, or not disagree or disagree. Fourth is the disagree, and the strongly disagree is the fifth. There were 3 sets of the questions to be answered consisting of a total of 30 questions. Since the selected customer respondents regularly visited the place, they were given to questionnaires for them to answer with the permission of the resort owner and the willingness of the client to participate in the research study. The answers to the question were tallied and checked by Google Form, which was the safest way to ensure the confidentiality of the respondents and their responses. The encoded data were statistically analyzed according to the parts of the questionnaire. This section of the questionnaire covered the respondents' age, race, home language, the high school qualification, and household monthly income. This personal data helped contextualize the findings and the formulation of appropriate recommendations to customers and guests visited in Inay's Place Resort. This section of the questionnaire covered items that showed how the respondents were satisfied on the rules and other services provided by the Inay's Place Resort. Responses were checked and tallied for analysis. This section of the questionnaire covered with how the 30 respondents rated the questions or items on the basis of the services of the Inay's Place Resort. Responses were checked and tallied for analysis. The data collected was analyzed by the researcher. Aside from the questionnaire, responses from personal interviews were also gathered which form part of the study. According to Mori and McBay 2005, this is the type of gathering data help in seeking more information that's contributed to the use of quantitative techniques. What's more, in addition, it enabled the researcher to build on a way that satisfied the accomplishment of research objectives. The researcher made sure that the selected participants or interviewees can ensure confidentiality in their responses. The seeking of full consent and willingness from them build trust and act of ethical consideration. In this way, respondents are free to give their personal thoughts and feelings with all confidence and honesty. The researchers made a questionnaire which is divided into 3 categories, in which the first part of the questionnaire is about demographic questions. Second part is the satisfaction of customer, which of the participants answered by the direct experience, and the third part is about the experience of the guest in the services of Inay's Place Resort. In the first category reveals the results of participants' personal profile or demographic profile in terms of age, gender, nationality, living barangay or employment status, and the highest degree of education level, marital status, capable of speaking fluently, and the monthly salary. Almost all the guests and customers of Inay's Place Resort will be in the legal age or normal age of enjoyment. In terms of employment status, most respondents are students who are guests or customers of the resort. Correspondingly, in the question of language fluency, the vast majority of respondents choose Filipino. For the last question, most of the clients are students. In the second category reveals the result of the participants, their satisfaction to the nice place resort, which there are 30 selected participants that answer the question with the given choices, which is strongly agree. 5 is the agree, 4 is nor agree or disagree, third is the disagree, and second is the last strongly disagree. The selected participants or interviewees rated the given question with a maximum score of 5 and a minimum of score of 1. Researchers used bar graphs to easily identify the number of participants who answered each question and easily calculate the total of each question. First, the questions, there are major participants selected that they are strongly satisfied, which is 13 or 43.3%. Moreover, in the question number 2, the participants selected nor agree or disagree and agree, which is 12 or 40%. Likewise, the third questions, most of the participants selected the nor agree or disagree, which is 13 or 43.3%. In the fourth question, majority participants selected agree, which is 13 or 43.3%. Based on the given chart and the total number of percentage of selected participants, the total number of survey studies will be reliable. In the third category reveals the result of participants, their satisfaction to the nice place resort, which there are 30 selected participants that answer the question with the given choices, which is strongly agree, 5, until the strongly disagree, which is 1. The researcher used bar graph to easily identify the numbers of participants which answer every question and easily made a total of every questions. In first questions, there are major of participants selected the nor or agree or disagree, which is 12 or 40%. In question number 2, the major participants selected nor or agree or disagree and also agree, which is 11 or 36.6%. In the third questions, most of the participants selected nor agree or disagree, which is 13 or 43.3%. In the fourth questions, the majority selected nor agree or disagree, which is 21 or 70%. Based on the given chart and the total number of percentage of selected participants, the total number of survey studies will be reliable. The results of the research study revealed that the customer satisfaction and service quality of Inay's Place Resort are excellent. Based on the results in the age distribution, the maximum number of customers visiting the restaurant was 42.3% among the ages 18 to 25. Correspondingly, the highest number of customers are female. All the respondents were from Barangay Comunal and Barangay Biga, with ages of 18 to 25 with 42.3 responses. The proportion of 40 to 59 years old bracket is 12.3% because this age of the respondents are busy paying attention to the work and other concerns. With the obtained results, the following are the recommendations of the study. First, the head of the resort should provide capacity building activities to all the crew members in order to establish and gain more knowledge and skills in improving customers' trust, confidence, and loyalty. Second, provide strategies like creating and organizing programs and activities that will increase the level of satisfaction of customers. Third, additional discount may be provided to regular customers. Fourth, receive and recognize guests by name with a friendly atmosphere. Fifth, increase the means of information dissemination about the resort so that more customers will be attracted since there is an improvement on the present pandemic situation. And the last, conduct another research study in the future similar to the one conducted. Resorts in the Philippines aim to build and maintain high-quality services available to the client to compete in the global market. Customer satisfaction and guest services are the two essential factors to be considered by resort operators. The responses of the customer or participants in evaluating the services rendered by Inay's Place Resort in Barangay Biga, Calapan City revealed as a satisfying result as gleaned from the average satisfactory rating of the customers. Correspondingly, the researcher had found out that the clients of Inay's Place Resort were much satisfied with the services they have received. Surprisingly, the data showed that the relationship between the resort's services and satisfaction are found to be not significant. It implies that the services of the resort have no significant relationship to the satisfaction received by the clients. Higher quality does not necessarily lead to higher satisfaction with all the products, attributes, or services requirements. Management strategies of Inay's Place Resort proved to be effective and satisfying. Furthermore, results of the study showed that perceived quality had the greatest influence on the satisfaction and guest services for customers. With the revealed results, resort managers will provide proper decision making and apply more strategies to improve customer satisfaction and guest services more effectively. Allocating resources and capacitating personnel will help sustain and improve customer satisfaction management.